This clip is brought to you by VegasWinners.com. Get expert sports betting advice from some of the best handicappers in the world. Head on over to VegasWinners.com and win yourself some money.
Now we've got a surprise. It's a match with William Regal versus Chris Benoit, who had pretty much the exact same match you'd imagine them having, limited to working barely 11 minutes. After all the skits, he's put in a serious athletic wrestling match with the unannounced return of Benoit. This was almost out of the WCW playbook of giving people a surprise, but in doing so, you give away the return of a wrestler whose return should have been hyped and built into something major. Although that was all put together at the last minute. Benoit was originally slotted as the mystery opponent for MVP. The two had been working out a match behind closed doors with Dusty Rhodes, who also lives in Atlanta, working with them for a few weeks. MVP was scheduled to win the match, and at the producers meeting before the show, there was concern regarding MVP and how he'd perform. Basically, the fear was if he sucked in a match and beat Benoit, not only would he be dead, but it would ruin Benoit's return. Vince McMahon was the one leading this discussion, according to one source, although another said it was Dean Malenko who went to Vince first and got him thinking in that direction. He may have simply been using that as an excuse to second guess the decision to beat Benoit in his return surprise. The idea was, and this asks why they gave him such a build-up if they were so concerned about his ability to get over with Regal. Benoit's put in a position where it's a lock he'll look good. MVP was designed to look bad, as crazy as that sounds, with the idea of him being purposely put in a position to look bad for heat, meaning it would eliminate him having to live up to the hype. It's pretty scary when you're pushing a guy that hard, and with weeks of practice and direction, you're afraid the guy can't have a good match with Benoit. Lot to unpack here. What do you remember about the return of Benoit? Was there another idea originally in place? And what do you make of this MVP controversy?
Well, I don't think that any of that is necessarily true. It was looked at from the standpoint of giving the people something extra on pay-per-view with Benoit in his return. And why bring him back and blow it off with MVP right off the bat? Give MVP a victory and let MVP get over more on television so that you can build towards something meaningful with Benoit versus just ice cold doing it that way. So again, that's a difference in philosophy from someone that watches from their living room, doing whatever it is that they do during the show, and people that actually have to conduct business. So to that, it was, hey, Benoit's there. Let's give him a great match. You're going to get a great match with William Regal, and you're giving MVP a win and getting him more exposure. I don't think that MVP was ready for that spot at that time. And if you want to have a program with Benoit, let's build to it.
The whole MVP thing, clearly it worked out. Do you remember him trying to work out a match ahead of time with Dusty Rhodes? Or is that not something you remember?
What now?
Do you remember him trying to work out that match with Dusty Rhodes? Was Dusty a big MVP fan? That's what I'm trying to drill down here.
But work out what match with Dusty? The Benoit match?
His pay-per-view match.
I know Dusty was, I have absolutely no recollection at all. No, I have no idea. I know Dusty did like MVP. Yes.
I mean, it's written in the Observer here, the two, meaning Benoit and MVP.
Fuck.
I mean, goddamn, if we could just have a conversation without you being a cantankerous fuck. I'm trying to ask, was Dusty a big MVP guy? That's all.
I said he was. Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. You got to get hot about it.
Half hot.
You know what? Just tell me what you thought of the match, and I won't say anything else about Meltzer. Just tell me what you thought about the rest of the pay-per-view. Go.
I thought it was excellent.
Great.
I thought that.
Thank y'all for tuning into the show this week. Appreciate everybody. Go hit the like and subscribe. Chris Benoit beats William Regal in 11-16. Obviously it's a great match. 3 3/4 finishes Benoit using a dragon suplex and a crossface for the submission. Is it possible these guys could even have a bad match? I don't think they ever did.
No, they have chemistry and they're both professionals and they have a varied repertoire of styles that can adapt to pretty much anything.
They do the sick headbutt spot, trying to bust each other open hard way. They eventually do get there. Regal's bleeding a lot more. I mean, it's something to see. And it's crazy to think that it's right after we just had, Miz getting a lap dance from Krista Joseph. Same show. By the way, Regal's the fucking MVP of this whole program, is he not?
Yes. Absolutely entertaining through and through and dependable, that you could give him pretty much any material, serious, humorous, whatever it may be, and he'll pull it off.
William Regal cuts a promo on Veto, who's doing a cross-dresser gimmick. And Regal announces he was to face Veto, but he was sued for sexual harassment if he doesn't get a new opponent. And it's Bobby Lashley who defeats Regal in under 5 minutes. What do you remember about Veto in a dress?
That was Vito's gimmick. That was something Vito wanted to do. He wanted to wear dresses and said, if you want to do it, then take it the whole way, and wear it all the time, which Vito did. But that was his idea. That was something he wanted to do to make himself different and stand out. Frankly, I applaud that.
Well, shout out to Veto. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.